Well, hello once again, folks, friends, fellow Americans, freedom lovers around the world. This is Mark coming at you again. Today I'm coming at you on behalf of the Lighthouse Law Club. And by now you've certainly heard about the anti-inflation bill that Congress has passed with multi-billions of dollars. And of course, you know, the titles of this legislation are always misnomers. Anti-inflation? Okay, let's just flood the streets with endless supplies of cash. That'll certainly slow inflation down. It's kind of like the Save the Children bill. You know, as soon as you see that being passed, you better hide your children, right? So we know how that works. Anyway, let's dig a little bit deeper into this story. You've definitely heard about the 87,000 plus new IRS agents that will be hired to come after you and your money, your source of funds, your peace, your livelihood. And there's some interesting developments that you need to know about. Okay, now, you know that we're not about just talking about things, right? We will bring a light to an issue so that you can be prepared, and then we'll have a plan of action available for you to deal with it if you so choose. So the only purpose of talking about things is to identify the problem and find a solution. And we're all about solutions. Okay, so I've got that for you as well. Let's just jump right into an article here that will inform us very well. This is from the Gateway Pundit. Okay, you can see the headline: the IRS is hiring new employees. Whoa, yeah, we knew that, including armed and fit federal agents willing to use deadly force. Well, wait a minute. What are we talking about? Taxes has to do with accounting. Where does deadly force come into play here? Oh, just wait and see. All right. The article starts out: they'll shoot and kill you over the $1,500 that you owe in taxes. Amazing, amazing, of course, but all the main players in the uniparty, they're never going to be touched. Okay. So again, we're talking about this new $700 billion plus spending bill, which will definitely curb inflation. All right. We know about the 87,000 new IRS employees, auditors, and so forth, agents coming online. And here's an employment ad that the IRS posted in www.jobs.irs.gov. Well, they got so much blowback on this, they've pulled the ad now, so you can't find it there anymore, but you can bet that they're using other avenues, okay? So for these new agents, you know, some of the major duties, you know, adhere to the highest standards of conduct, especially in maintaining honesty and integrity. How do you do that when you've got a system that is based on nothing but fraud, deception, intimidation, and browbeating? I'd like to know what those standards are, actually, so that we can throw that one out the window right off the bat. Okay, work hours. All right, you have to have a level of fitness. All right, because you might need to chase a guy out his back door down the alleyway. All right, but look at this. You will need to carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary. Wow. Collecting taxes now requires the use of deadly force if necessary. So this tells you what their attitude is, right? They'll stop at nothing. They will collect those taxes at all costs. And by virtue of the fact that they're arming these guys, they're admitting that their esteem in the public eye, you know, is lower than a worm. And their history supports that. Okay? You also need to be willing and able to participate in arrests, execution of search warrants, bogus or otherwise, and other dangerous assignments. Well, isn't that interesting? Okay, looking for armed and fit federal tax agents who are willing to use deadly force. So that tells you an awful lot right off the bat. Okay, they're going to combine your accounting skills with law enforcement skills to investigate financial crimes. Who are we? Criminal Investigation, CID, Criminal Investigation Division. Look at this. This is the law enforcement branch of the IRS. Our mission is to serve the American public. Well, that's a key word right there. That tells you right off the bat, you want to get out of the public and into the private, unless you want to be served by these guys. Okay? Now, please tell me, how is it exactly that you're serving the American public by using such extreme, draconian, obfuscated rules and regulations that make no sense? There's no coherent interlinking of the statutes with the sessions laws, with the Code of Federal Regulations that apply to most anybody that you want to apply it to. Now, how is that serving people? All right, but this is the key. We need to get out of the public and into the private right off the bat. They're telling us right there, because they're going to be investigating potential criminal violations of the Internal Revenue Code and related financial crimes in a manner that fosters confidence in the tax system and compliance with the law. So listen here, bud. Take a look at the end of the barrel of this gun, which I'm going to put up against your forehead. You have confidence in the system, don't you? You're going to comply with the law, regardless of whether it applies to you or not, aren't you? You have confidence. Surely you do. We see that. Thank you so much. So as a special agent, you're going to combine your accounting skills with law enforcement skills to investigate financial crimes, which we're going to find everywhere, whether they exist or not. Special agents are duly sworn law enforcement officers who are trained to follow the money, no matter what the source. All income earned, both legal and illegal, has the potential of becoming involved in crimes which fall within the investigative jurisdiction of the IRS CID, Criminal Investigation Division. Okay? All right. So again, right there, what is that jurisdiction? Do you know if you fall in that jurisdiction? If you are, do you know how to step out of that jurisdiction? Okay? Because of the expertise required to conduct these complex financial investigations, IRS special agents are considered the premier financial investigators for the federal government. And this is something you can be proud of. Traipsing all over your fellow Americans, violating their rights, browbeating them with fraud, deception, laws and regulations that don't make any sense, totally circular. So all we need for you as an applicant is to be a U.S. citizen. Okay, so right off the bat, fraud. Okay, for most people, you have to be of legal age. You need to have a valid driver's license. Again, we got to have that hook in you. You got to pass a background and criminal history record check. Well, I'd like to know what those standards are. You know, is it something like you can't have more than 5 felony convictions to qualify? You have to have less than 5? We don't know. All right. Now, here's the one that really gets me. You have to pass a pre-employment tax examination. In other words, we need to see that you've drank the Kool-Aid, that you have been properly educated to fall into the system like a cog in the wheel, and that you're a good obedient, compliant slave subject to our system. You have to be one of us. Okay. And of course, I mean, that only makes sense, right? So this is quite revealing, isn't it? Your major duties: carry a firearm, be willing to use deadly force if necessary to collect that $1,500. You have to be willing and able to participate in arrests, execution of search warrants, and other dangerous assignments. And as I said, they got so much blowback on this that they pulled the job post down from this website. So that's what's coming. That's what you have to look forward to, folks, right? So you have to decide, is that the game you want to play? Is that the sandbox you want to be in? Is that the jurisdiction that you want to operate in? Or would you like to step out of that sandbox and step out of the public, deal in the private, in a different sandbox with a different set of rules that's not within their jurisdiction where they can come and harass you? All right, so you've got to make a choice. Now, if you're going to stay in that sandbox, God bless you. May the force be with you, and best of luck. And there's a lot of people that will, more than not. That's the sad thing. Okay, so let's take a look at the solution. All right, we put up a brand new web page, and this is geared towards business owners. Okay, if you're not a business owner, yes, we can still help you and achieve everything that we need to, but this particular web page is separate and apart from the main Lighthouse Law Club web page, and this is geared solely for the private member association benefit package that we've put together to assist business owners to come out of the public and start dealing in the private, which is a different jurisdiction altogether. All right. Now, most people who are familiar with PMAs understand that, typically it's just a simple matter of, working off of a template document for articles of association and having a simple membership agreement, and you can do it that way. All right. It's really quite a simple matter. However, we do have attorneys that are offering packages on this, and you have to be very careful that, they're not using statutory language to keep you tied into that statutory system, which is their sandbox. That's the sandbox they play in, right? So you got to be very careful about that. Now, what makes this particular benefit package different from anything else are the fact that it relies really on three pillars. Okay, first of all, we're going to help you convert your existing business corporate structure, probably dissolve that and move over to a contractual business organization in the form of a private trust. Okay, so that right off the bat is taking the business out of that statutory sandbox and moving it into the private, where statutory codes and regulations don't apply. All right. Now, that may seem kind of extreme and strange to some people, but we've got information to explain all that. I'm not going to get into an educational session right now, but there are a couple of links here that you're going to want to pursue if you want to better understand that. Okay. Understanding how law works. All right. Click here for a revelation. All right. This is going to take you to a PDF that's going to explain this in more detail. The difference between the public and the private, and why operating from a statutory entity like a corporation, an S corp, an LLC, a statutory trust, they're all creatures of the state and they're controlled by the state. So you need to get out of that. So right off the bat, pillar number one is moving into a contractual business organization, which is non-statutory and does not operate in that jurisdictional sandbox. Okay. We can provide additional information for you. Click here under Knowledge is the Key to Freedom, and get on our mailing list. We've got additional documentation to help you understand some of these things. So pillar number one is reconstructing the business in a different business structure in the form of a contractual business organization that takes on the form of a trust. All right, but it's not a grantor or statutory type of trust that most people are familiar with. All right, so that's number one. Number two, you understand very well the concept of separation of church and state. You should probably understand the exemptions that come along with churches, church organizations, church auxiliaries, faith-based organizations. We have the ability to add an extra layer of protection on your PMA by becoming an auxiliary to a faith-based organization, to a church, bona fide church, non-registered, non-denominational church serving Jesus Christ under his kingdom, in his jurisdiction, and no other. Okay, so that provides you to have your business set up as an auxiliary to a church and actually be a faith-based organization. So that's the second layer of protection that you have in this package. All right. In addition to that, the third pillar is such that if you are in a position where your business is handling a reasonable, let's just say substantial amount of cash flow that is not needed for monthly expenses, we have the ability to utilize a sophisticated financial infrastructure that's set up on a global basis. Okay, we're talking about international business and finance, whereby you can set up the financial and economic facilities to put your assets out of reach, where they can't be snatched, grabbed, seized, confiscated, or other forms of distraint put upon them. All right, you have the ability to put those in a safe place. All right, now nobody that I know of, offers such facilities. All right, so you got those three pillars: the contractual business organization, the new foundational organizational documents for your business, the auxiliary designation as a faith-based organization, as an auxiliary to a bona fide legitimate church, which operates in a completely different jurisdiction. You've got that layer of protection. And thirdly, you've got the access to international financial facilities that you just don't find anywhere else. All right. Now, we can add to that really a fourth pillar, if for anybody who's counting, and that is a part of this package is going to include a full lifetime membership in the Lighthouse Law Club, which has huge benefits that are almost countless. You'd have to go to the main website and explore that to really get a full grasp. But the key point we're talking about here is IRS issues. Included in the lifetime membership of the Lighthouse Law Club is the IRS Freedom Course. And this is going to show you how to personally change your personal tax status from that of being a U.S. citizen taxpayer to legally, lawfully, morally, totally transparent and above board as a non-taxpayer, according to law. All right. And so that's something, if you're uncomfortable with that concept, you simply need to do a little bit of research, and we have plenty of that for you. We can help you with that. We've got a number of educational videos we can point you to help you understand those issues and get more comfortable with that. Okay. Personally, I have not dealt with these people since 1994. And I've been involved in numerous businesses in the USA and around the world, dealing with cash flow of varying degrees, and never, I'm just not engaged in that sandbox. I'm not in that sandbox, so I never hear from them. Okay, so it's pretty simple. So that's it. All right, take a hard look at this, study the details, decide if you want to continue to play in that sandbox with those 87,000 new agents who are carrying guns, who are destined to be fit slaves to chase you down and be willing to use deadly force to collect that $1,500 from you, or not. We've got an alternative. It's there for you. Explore it. The URL for this is lighthousepma.club. Again, lighthousepma.club. And you might see on the menu bar there, if you'd like additional cash flow, help your fellow business owners learn about this. We have an affiliate program. We can make it worth your while for spreading the good news. Become an affiliate. All right, get your affiliate link, share it. Let's get it out there, and let's take America back. All right, folks, that's it for me for now. Take care. God bless, and we'll look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to use the contact page on this website, and we'll have a personal conversation. That's all for now. Take care and God bless.